Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining. In this video, I wanted to share one of my current deals that I have on the table at the moment, which ties back to my very first video that talks about my pet peeves with hard money lenders. And maybe I should change that title because it's not a pet peeve; it's just the realism, if that's even a word, of the realism of hard money lenders and the truth about you needing money to borrow money, right? So this goes back to again, like I said, my first video, but let's get right to it, right? So I have this deal on the table, and I'm gonna run by the numbers very quickly, and I'll post the numbers on the bottom of the video. But I just wanted you guys to have sort of a concept of how this works, right? So a hard money lender, which is why I always say should be your last resort when trying to fund a deal. Although they're great, they're fast, they want to move things quickly. A lot of times, and it depends on who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a wholesaler, or sometimes a wholesaler wants to move things very quickly. They apply pressure because that's how it works, right? And especially in this market. But so let's get right to it, right? The purchase price of this property is $55,500. It's going to approximately take me about $140,000 to bring it up to speed, bring it up to make it habitable. All right. We are, let's say, 135,000. So we're not $190,500. I go to this hard money lender. I went to a number of them, by the way, but I go to this one hard money. I go to several hard money lenders, and their concept is relatively the same. I'm new to them. They don't know me. I provide them with all my documentation, my track record, how many properties I own, how many units I own, my rent roll, my income, my credit score. They just want to have they just want to familiarize themselves with me, that I'm not someone that's just, I'm not a potential risk. Even though I'm still a risk with all these documents, they want to make sure that they have a feel for me, of my profile. So I give them that information. I give them the deal, the address, because they want to make sure that if they're putting money somewhere, it's in a legitimate area, that they're not taking a huge risk, right? And so what do we end up with? $190,500 all in. They require me at 20% down. So there's two cases. The first case is requires me of 20% down payment on the entire loan amount. So the $190,500, 20% down leaves me with about 38,000 for let's say 40,000 for the sake of this conversation. $40,000 down payment plus closing costs. So the actual loan amount is about 152,500, right? 152,400. That lender wanted to charge a 12% interest on that 152,400 a month. That's about $1,500 or $1,600 that you have to pay him, not him, the lender back a month, right? So now you're paying this person $1,600 on that. I'm just approximating the numbers here. $1,600. That's your carrying cost of the project. The longer you carry the project, the more you have to pay them, right? So it is in your best interest to finish out the project well, under within time, budget, and scope. It is in your best interest. You don't keep carrying that cost. So that's number one. Number two, the amount of money you have to put up front. This guy wants you to put almost $50,000 up front, plus my carrying costs. The project we're approximating is going to take about 6 to 8 months. Let's say 8 months, right? So that's another 20 grand. So you're about 70,000 all in. This is just a hard money lender, right? So that's scenario A. So I just wanted you're about not 70,000, you're about 60 to 70,000. Which is a lot of money. To me, that's a lot of money to come in for a deal, right? To me, that's a lot of money. So that's scenario A. Scenario B is where I'm only being asked to put a 20% down on the purchase price. So the $55,500, which is about $11,100 plus closing costs, origination fee, appraisals, whatever. Which approximates to about $26,000 versus almost 50, a little over 50 grand, right? Plus, you're still gonna have to carry the 12%. In some cases, is 10. But consider I'm a new client to every investor I'm dealing with, because as an out-of-state lender, they're gonna charge me the 12%. Fine, 12% carrying cost is my objective on this deal is to come to the closing table with the least amount of money on my side, right? I don't want to put in money here. So I'm going to go with option B because it only requires me to put 20% down on the purchase price of $55,500 plus closing costs. So this is what I'm doing. I already own an asset that I'm going to sell for $25,000. So I'm going to grab those funds and put them towards this purchase. So I don't have to come up with any of my money. Well, it is my money, but it's not like I'm going to my bank account to get this money. I'm going to sell an asset and I'm going to trade the asset for this other asset, right? I could have easily done a 1031 exchange, but the money's so small that I'm going to absorb the tax, the capital gains on that $25,000 property that I'm selling, because I have not started any rehab. I actually bought it for $8,000 about 3 years ago, and I'm going to sell it now for $25,000, and I'm going to use those funds to purchase this building. This building is we're going to try to make it 5 units, preferably 5. I'm looking at 4 good, decent sized units on this building. So I'm trading one unit for 4 or potentially 5. I would much rather that deal. So that's my creative way. I wouldn't say it's not creative. I mean, it's not really creative. It's kind of a no-brainer. That is my deal. I'll put the numbers down on the bottom of this video. Please like, subscribe, give thumbs up, guys, and share the video.